Welcome back, True Seeker. January 12th, did a live stream for you and gave you a little preview of what should happen in the Hornets and Lakers game. If you missed that stream, you missed out. But oftentimes giving out free gems for Rig Sports and pointed out why the Hornets should upset the Lakers in tribute to Kobe Bryant, who was drafted by the Hornets and traded to the Lakers for Vlade Divac, probably the worst trade in the history of the NBA looking back. And of course, it was all ritual. Never forget that Kobe was the son of Joe Jellybean Bryant. And again, Kobe, who died at 41, notice it was the Hornets' 41st game last night. He retired 41 years after his father was drafted into the league. His father was drafted by Golden State, which equals 41, like Kobe Bryant. Again, Kobe, who'd eventually die at 41 while traveling from Catholic Mass on the Pope's 41st day of his age, some years after I wrote my book about rig sports and had a major section on Kobe's career in 41. Again, when he dropped 81, the rest of his team scored 41. In his last game where he scored 60, the rest of his team scored 41 as they took him off the court with 4.1 seconds. Go back and watch the tape. But here, I just want to play the clip from the stream earlier this week. And here's what's annoying to me. You know, every day, I know I got trolls and haters, but the people in this community that support the work, again, I'm asking you guys to do a better job of supporting the work. I don't see any comments like, hey, Zach, great call again. What I got this morning when I log on to my comment feed is just all the haters and trolls. This knowledge has no predictive value. There's nothing useful about this knowledge. Just retarded shit that's just so opposite of the truth. Again, it's not cap, you guys. Nobody has a better resume of calling futures in the history of the world when it comes to sports, news, and rig selections. And I'm talking about what we call elections, which are rig selections. And this knowledge is so instrumental in understanding the rig. So I'm going to play a clip from a couple days ago talking about what was going to happen in this game. And then I'm going to play a clip from 6 years ago talking about 135 and Kobe Bryant. Because you see the Hornets won with 135, and we'll look at a post from just as long ago about where Kobe's jersey retirement had a lot to do with 117 in this history. So right here, let's play the clip. This was from January 13th, 2026. By the way, did you guys see that the Lakers signed a Kobe on January 13th, like Kobe Bryant's 113? Let me watch this clip. I was talking about how we had the Stars to beat the Kings 3-1. Back-to-back days, we hit the Stars winning 3-1. First on the 13th and on the day prior, also on a Monday, Moon Day with its 13-month cycle. Just the kind of stuff we do around here. That day, we had the Maple Leafs to upset, big payout. Monster upsets that day. We had Utah to upset. We had the Kings to upset LeBron as he got the 23 patch on and stayed on 23 wins. And again, you got these trolls coming around saying, no predictive power to this knowledge, please. Here, let's roll the tape. Hold on, I got to point out something to you about the Charlotte Hornets. I got to point out something to you guys about the Hornets here. You see who the Hornets play next? The Lakers on the 15th, 11 days before the Kobe death anniversary. We thought the Clippers would get it done last night. Hold on, I want you to see what happened in the Clippers game. The Clippers became 10-9 at home, right? And the Hornets lost with 109 points. Los Angeles 109. And the Clippers stayed on 23 losses. Notice the Clippers won with 117, too. We'll come back to that because it showed up in the Lakers score also. The Hornets stayed on 14 wins and picked up their 14th road loss. Remember, that was the date numerology yesterday, 23-14. LA has that 14 connection, too. But look at the Hornets record. They're going to play the Lakers next, right? On the 15th. So watch out for this. On the 15th, just for Kobe's death anniversary. Kobe 15, and they're on 26 losses, right? Kobe died on the 26th. Bryant 26. Remember, Kobe and Bear Bryant both died on January 26th. The Bryant from the Temptations died on October 26th. You just had Don Bryant, the Memphis musician, just die on the 26th last month. And he died at 83, which is weird because we call Memphis the 83 city. And remember, Bear Bryant, the football coach, died in 83. And Kobe's death was synced with the 83-year-old Pope dying on the 41st day of the Pope's age. And helicopter crashes at 83. So I'm gonna have to go back and look at the death of that Bryant from the Temptations on the 26th and see if there was an 83 in his passing as well. Remember the word murder is 83, like the song Murder by Numbers came out in 83. They just synced up the Ice Killing with Vanilla Ice, who wrote Ice Ice Baby in 83, who just performed it at Mar-a-Lago. And remember Prince wrote I Would Die for You in 83, spelled it number 4, letter U, used the 21st letter, died on 4/21 on the Queen's birthday. All right. But okay, I thought I saw somebody say they wanted to come on here and say something, but so anyway, I'm telling you there, expect the Hornets to become 15-26 in their game with the Lakers. Boom. Notice though, the Lakers stay on 24 wins. They get their 8th road win. Those are the Kobe jersey numbers. And when Kobe retired his jersey, he did it 117 days after his birthday, like his name has the 117 connection. But here, about the 135. I just want to go back and play this clip. The only time that Mark Passio ever took my phone call, I talked to him about Gematria and Philadelphia sports because he's a Philadelphia guy. He's a Philadelphia sports fan. I remember this phone call, though, even though it was 6 years ago today. It's funny enough, it was March 11th, 2019. So coming up on the 7th anniversary. We're almost 7 years ago. But I remember he goes through Discord. It was clipping in and out. He couldn't hear everything I was saying, and I couldn't hear everything he was saying. So there is some audio clip out. It sounds better, though, through his broadcast than it actually did when we were talking back and forth. You can still make out everything that's said, but listen up here about 135 and Philly and Kobe, because, again, Kobe's from Philly. Listen. Kobe was drafted out of Philly High School to the Hornets before being traded to the Lakers. Listen.
He might accomplish.
Absolutely. Since you're in Philadelphia, I just want to share something with you.
Sure.
Your city was established October 27th, 1682. That's the official date of establishment. And if you add that date, 10 plus 27 plus 16 plus 82, it sums to 135. And the reason that's relevant is because in Revelation, there's a letter written to the Church of Philadelphia. And in the letter, there's something mentioned David. If you write out the key of David and use the alphabetic order, it's T's the 20th letter, H is the 8th, E's the 5th, so on. The key of David sums to 135. And this is such a big number in the history of Philadelphia. It especially comes up in their sports all the time. Your baseball team just signed Bryce Harper exactly 135 days after his birthday. Just yesterday, Temple finished 13-5 in the conference. Villanova, which is outside of Philadelphia, just finished 13-5 in the conference. By the way, Villanova equals 135. One of the biggest sports stars from Philadelphia, Kobe Bean Bryant, his name 135. Carson Wentz, the big quarterback right there right now. He's had a rookie record. 35 passes before his first interception. And I could go on all day, Mark.
Sure.
Just every
that was one of the parts where it cut out. I was saying Carson Wentz just set the rookie record at the time with 135 passes without an interception. Again, when he was talking back to me, like every other word was clipping out, but it's Discord. But anyhow,
city has a number that's assigned to it. I'm talking about Philadelphia because that's where you're from. But you learn these numbers and you see how the world of sports is scripted. 2 years ago, Super Bowl 52, Donald Trump took on the NFL over the protests of the flag on September 23rd, 23/9. And I said right there, I said, boom, there's your Super Bowl. It's going to be the Eagles and the Patriots. The Eagles, the home of the flag, sewn at 239 Arch Street. 239 is the 52nd prime. You'll have the Patriots with the flag on the side of the helmet. It's so scripted. The Super Bowl was won by the Eagles with number 86 catching the winning touchdown exactly 86 days after his birthday. And why? It's because the national anthem was officially adopted 86 years before that NFL season.
And for the record, we had that called before the game was played. Zach Ertz, if the Eagles are going to win, to score the winning touchdown at 30-1 odds. And that's why it's so annoying when people come around and say there's no predictive power to this. Not only do I have the best resume of futures, I have the most exact calls in futures. Like, case in point, what put me on the map, Super Bowl 50, Week 3, explained why it was going to be Broncos over Panthers, and Von Miller would be the MVP of the Super Bowl. A pretty rare feat for a defensive player to be the MVP, but exactly what happened that year. And it was all about understanding that he wore 58, and Cam Newton would be the 58th quarterback to start in a Super Bowl, like Huey P. Newton equals 58. who was the founder of the Black Panthers in the Bay Area where that year's Super Bowl was. And understanding that, we understood why the Panthers would make it into this year's playoffs. In tribute to the last time they were there, Super Bowl 50, the last time it was hosted in San Francisco, and on and on and on. Not to mention, we also saw why the Eagles were likely going to beat why the Niners were likely going to beat the Eagles this weekend and become 13-5 in Philadelphia. Like I just explained to this almost 7 years ago now. We've been taking advantage of these patterns a million times ever since. But yes, the Niners became 13-5 in Philadelphia this past weekend. Not only that, I suggested the winning score would be 23 points, which is what it was. Brady equals 23. He was calling the game exactly 23 weeks after his birthday, when all last year I was pointing out to you guys how they were syncing up the scores of the game with Brady and the games that he called. They did it all last year as his first year as a commentator. They did it again this year. So anyway, I want you to hear what Mark Passio is about to say, though. And keep in mind, Mark Passio is Jesuit educated. He is a former priest in the Church of Satan, which has the Jesuit fingerprints all over it. Understand, too, I probably called his show 30 times before he took this call. This was the first time he ever took my call, and he never took it again. At the end of this, he says we got to collaborate more. He never picked up my call once after this. But I want you to hear what he's about to say about suggesting that maybe this is all just synchromysticism. And because it was his show, I didn't want to be super disagreeable. It was the first time he picked up my call. So I sort of played into it, but we'll talk about what synchromysticism is, and then I'd like to hear from you guys. Do you think all this is just synchromysticism, or do you think it's because the game is rigged?
So anyway, I am very familiar with occult gematria, and I've talked about it a lot, especially in relationship with the 9/11 mass ritual event, false flag event, human sacrifice ritual. Let me ask you a question, Zach. Do you see this purely as something that is scripted by the powers that be, or do you see possibly that this is creative synchronicity within the universe itself? People have called it synchromysticism. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the term. Do you see this as a possible example of synchromysticism, or do you think this is simply scripted events as far as people actually creating these seeming coincidences, but they're actually using gematria?
I do believe it is a little bit of both. Absolutely.
Okay.
I think a lot of it in the world of sports is completely contrived, but with regards to the larger subject, to answer your question, I do believe it's both.
Okay.
So,
pretty interesting material. I would like to talk about it further. We're running out of time on the show. I'd like to go to some other calls before we wrap up, or at least one other one. But give out what was the show that you do? You want to?
If you just search my name on YouTube, it's Zachary K. Hubbard. I'm also on Truth Frequency Radio once a week. But later this year, I think we're going to meet up, Mark. I'm planning. I've been invited to the Anarchy Philadelphia conference, so I hope to see you there.
Oh, I'll be speaking there as well. So we'll both be speakers at that event at Anarchadelphia.
And I ended up not being a speaker there, and he got me disinvited, actually, which is funny enough. So he did seem pretty friendly and kosher there in the moment, but I think a part of this irked him because, like I said, he never went back to it. And yeah, anyway, it is funny that the only time he took my call was episode 201 as somebody, again, who is Jesuit educated and part of the Church of Satan. Remember, Anton LaVey, its founder, died 201 days after his birthday, and he always brags about being handpicked by Anton LaVey. And don't forget, Anton LaVey also died 201 days from the sitting Pope's birthday. Again, you look into the Church of Satan, it's got the Jesuit fingerprints all over it, just like almost everybody in the world of pro sports is either Catholic or Jesuit educated, from the players to the coaches, not to mention most of the coaches are former players. But yeah, again, everything that I've talked about for all these years, and realize that wasn't new information the day I told to Mark Passio. I've been talking about these same patterns with these cities. We locked into Philadelphia in 135 over 10 years ago. And again, here it is again. I just told you guys the other day, look for the Hornets to become 15-26. I should have predicted I probably should have predicted the score be 135. Kobe, Bean, Bryant, 135. Career high 81. Dead the Sunday before Super Bowl 54. Dead on a Sunday. Synced up with the Jesuit Pope. Sun 54. Jesuit Order 54. Don't forget that next Super Bowl was the Joe Montana Bowl. There's the 2019 season that ended in 2020 where Montana wore 19 for the Chiefs, beat his old team, the Niners. And then, of course, they had that Super Bowl again in Super Bowl 58, the 54th of the modern era, where the Chiefs became the first team to go back-to-back in 19 years. But yeah, I mean, it's just so annoying to just wake up to the trolling every day, and then also just the silence from the actual community that does benefit from this knowledge, who can't even leave a comment, hardly send a tip. It's just like, God, I mean, I really do. I have the recurring thought all the time. Imagine, Zach, had you just kept this knowledge to yourself, your cash crop business would probably still be booming. The games would probably still be as easy to call as they were over a decade ago. I just think so often, man, it's just, I think, God, man, I almost wish I could go back in time knowing what I know now and just keep it all to myself. I'd be so much better off. And sadly, the world wouldn't be better off, but at the same time, the world's not healing because not enough people are getting on board. Instead, you have all these morons still out here just writing the really dumb comments that they do. The paid-for trolls and disinfo spamming the same bullshit. And they're effective, right? Because if you come to my channel as a new person, all you do is read the comments about this guy's a scammer, a liar, a fraud, this doesn't work, there's no predictive power. I mean, the same kind of crap that's spammed all over all my channels and in places I post every single day. Total disinformation. And then you got the Mark Passios of the world who are respected voices in the truth community. I think it was his next episode where he brought this up. I wasn't on there, but he went more into how, synchromysticism is this thing, and he thinks it explains what's going on. Here's how Mark Passio essentially explained away what we're putting out. And keep in mind, Mark Passio is also a Philadelphia sports fan. He loves the Phillies. And, and Mark Passio has money problems. You should have took our advice because we got the Phillies to win the pennant at 20-1 preseason, the year that they went to the 118th World Series. Remember, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania's 118, just like Philadelphia, PA's 118. There's power in this knowledge. But, yeah, synchromysticism. So this is what Mark Passio ended up talking about, I believe, because I don't think it was at the end of that episode because it ran out, but I know he brought it up at some point. Like, I would listen to his show, but he'd never bring me on. Synchromysticism, coined by Jake Coetzee, describing the practice of finding deep, hidden, or mystical meaning. So that sounds about right. In seemingly random coincidences. Now, that doesn't sound right because these are not random coincidences and they don't seem like they're random coincidences. They seem like they're purposefully orchestrated ritual that connect to a history that goes back to the Bible. And like I've always said, first the English Bibles were translated and then numbered. The Bible was never numbered before. Those were the English Bibles that got the numbers. And then in about the next 100 years, the calendar is implemented and English is standardized with the 26-letter alphabet where seemingly this system was established. And again, if you haven't read my books, you're missing out on a lot because Kobe's talked about in the first chapter of my first book with how connected he is also to the number 26. Of course, he dies on the 26th day of the year of this calendar that came from the church, the Catholic Church, a calendar made for the Pope, dying in connection to the Pope. Again, the Pope was 83. Helicopter crash equals 83. Bear Bryant died on the same day in 83. But again, helicopter crash. Not to mention, Kobe's death was predicted in a helicopter in a Comedy Central cartoon, which came out on 1611, the 16th of November, like the King James Bible came out in 1611. Remember, King equals 41 like Kobe Bryant. LeBron won the finals that year, exactly 41 weeks after his birthday on Father-Daughter Day. Not to mention, Kobe was also in the film Black Mamba, which ends with an exploding helicopter. Not to mention, Kobe's last game, they gave out a toy of Kobe Bryant with a helicopter propeller head. And there was a lot encoded in the name of that toy, as we've covered in the past. But yeah, coming back to this synchromysticism thing. Describing the practice of finding deep, hidden, or mystical meaning in seemingly random coincidences, often linking them to art, conspiracy culture, esoteric knowledge, and the collective unconscious. It involves seeing meaningful patterns and connections in everyday life, media, and culture as divine guidance or revelations, blending Jungian psychology with spiritual quests and postmodern ideas to understand the universe's holographic language. Again, I don't think this explains what's going on. Is there an organic element to this that is a percentage of what we're talking about? I'd say, yeah, some of it. But the ritualistic crap that's going on every day. Did you see that for Trump, they shortened the ICE training to 47 days? Do you think that's synchromysticism? ICE agent training is now 47 days to honor Trump, who keeps doing all these 47 rituals. And look at the gematria and the base ciphers of Trump and agent. Trump, this agent of chaos, this puppet of the cabal. Trump, 88, 25, 47. Run it the other way. Agent, 88, 25, 47. ICE agent training shortened to 47 days for Trump. Do you think this is synchromysticism? Trump yesterday threatening the Insurrection Act 47 days before the anniversary of the establishment of the Insurrection Act? Do you think that's synchromysticism? How many times have we talked about Trump rituals with 47 and 218 over the last decade? He does it while the Insurrection Act's 218 years old. He does it on 62 date numerology when the Insurrection Act was established on the 62nd day of the year, and he targets Minneapolis, 62 town. Remember when we told you Brady at the end of Super Bowl 51 was 62 pass attempts? I said, there's the sign. They're sticking him in Minneapolis next year. And if you go back to that season where he played in the Super Bowl in Minneapolis and lost to Philly, he had the passing yardage season high, and he outdid Phillip Rivers by 62 yards. And realize, the same day that Trump did this, the feds cracked down on 26 athletes in 2026 for point shaving, also on the 62 date numerology. Again, this isn't synchromysticism. This is how our government works every day. And you look at the CIA's headquarters, they have the statue Kryptos outside their front doors, which is about this code of numbers within words. The CIA is flaunting that they're using this knowledge. So, again, we got somebody in the back. We got Open Up in the back. What's up, Open Up?
Hey, what's up, Zach?
Yeah, how you doing, man?
Am I echoing?
Let me check. I can't hear you echoing on my end, but let me make sure the box is checked. Maybe you were. Good. All right, try it now. It should be good.
Okay, yeah, we're good now. To answer the stream question, is this what is it? Synchromysticism. Maybe if someone was seeing this for the first time and they saw that definition for the first time, maybe they would think that it was. But even at that, if you look at the accuracy and the connections that are made, like this stuff is pretty impossible to just be happening organic, especially at the rate that we see the same things happening, the same numbers coming up. And I just want to give an example, like just showing how this is not organic in most cases. I mean, we just saw Conor McGregor's wedding, right? That he planned and he synced up numerically. He even gave us the little decode. So,
and he literally, the wedding was literally 10 years today, 10 years to the day of my post, showing the exact same patterns with his rigged championship over Jose Aldo.
Right. And just talking about the Lakers game last night. I took LaMelo Ball to go from 101 threes to 109 threes. He hit 8 threes yesterday to get to 109 in Los Angeles, where he's from the Los Angeles area. And something that made me take that, something that made me like that even more was the fact that I was looking at the local news in LA. They said it was a triple shooting. And the only victim that they mentioned was a 17-year-old. And we know yesterday had the 17 date numerology. We know kill equals 17, shooting equals 109. So yeah, he hit 8 threes to get to 109 in Los Angeles, where Los Angeles equals 109, shooting equals 109. And on top of that, he got his 43rd game with 30 or more points. 43 is the 14th prime. LA equals 14. And he got his 41st double-double on the road in LA, another 41. So, I mean, none of this is organic. I've made money on this for the past 3.5 years or 4 years or so. So, I mean, if anyone is denying this, I don't have anything to say to them. So I just appreciate you for showing me this and for exposing it. And you continue to expose it every day for the past, 13 years? So
going on 13 years come August. It'll be 13 in August.
Yeah. And someone in the chat said, if you don't see it, then I don't remember what they said, but if you don't see it, I mean, that's on you. You're trying not to see it because you don't have to look very hard. And then the last thing I wanted to say is that, man, this channel has gotten destroyed because there's no one on this live stream for this Gematria. And it's funny because this is your channel with the most subscribers, I think, right? The sports channel.
Well, again, overnight I lost 6,000 subs. This is March Madness 2024. It dropped 6,000 subs overnight, and it stayed at 89,000 for ever since then. And as we know, 89 is a significant number to me in my life, so it seems like it's some little joke they're doing with it. But
Oh, yeah.
and
100%.
by the way, we know that's a big number with King James 89. Like when LeBron won on the real King James' birthday, the Warriors lost 89. That was the first video I put up on this channel, was how LeBron, it was right at the same time LeBron went from Cleveland to LA. I said he's going to win the Lakers their 17th championship in his 17th season. That was the very first video on this channel. And look, I think it's part of the joke of keeping the channel at 89K subs.
Yep. And I know yesterday in the Patreon, you mentioned how Luka could score 49. I think they were listening.
41.
Oh, yeah, 41.
Too short. He scored 39, like Charlotte's 39.
Right. So I'm pretty sure they were there was someone in there listening, because we've seen.
Yeah, I thought Luka would score 41 yesterday because Kobe Bryant's 41. It was the Hornets' 41st game. It was his 322nd day of his age. Like Skull and Bones equals 322. That's where what happened to Luka scoring 41? Oh, well, I wasn't far off. I mean, he scored 39, which is also symbolic. Charlotte 39. So
yeah, and anyone who's smart can take him for his over his points or even 35.
he didn't cover off that knowledge, right? If you just took him for the over, boom, win.
And the other part of that was that it would have been his 54th game with 40 or more. We know how 54 plays into Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Zach, appreciate your knowledge always. I'm always going to be here as long as you are. And my account, I can't even message in this channel anymore. I mean, I've told you this before, probably a year ago, but for whatever reason, there's certain accounts that can no longer message on this channel in the chat. And you said you've already cleared out all the people who are banned, and it still doesn't work. So
yeah, the channel's destroyed. You're watching on Gematria Effect Sports right now. I mean, that channel's dead. It's just a dead channel.
Yeah, but yeah, I appreciate you, Zach, and take care. I'll be on the Patreon later.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And by the way, the interview I just did with Christian White, somebody just left this comment last night. That's the kind of stuff that we're up against, you guys. This is what the programmed mind says. This is pattern recognition run amok. The problem with this stuff is it is all anecdotal, 100% of it. No reproducible experiments with controls and variables, just stories of random pattern recognition with assumed significance. Again, this stuff is so idiotic. It's just annoying. Do you know how many times we've cashed on the exact same patterns? And what a moron will do is they'll go, well, hey, last night Boston in 22 didn't hit, so now what? It's like, okay, you're right. Boston in 22 didn't miss yesterday. It was the disappointment of yesterday. It was still a winning day yesterday, but it would have been an even better day if Boston in 22 came through. But hey, let's look at Boston in 22, how it's played for us over the last decade plus. Oh, it's come in at over 80%. Well, that's not 100%. And, in science, if something's true, it happens every time. You guys, we're talking about the occult and how the occult uses this knowledge, how understanding it gives you an edge on seeing through their rig. If you're winning at 80% of bets on a pattern, is that a winning pattern? Hell yeah, that's a winning pattern. If you're some moron that sits there and looks for the exception, oh, well, it didn't win today, that makes you an idiot. And then to come back with some rhetoric like, see, I needed to be like science. I needed to hit every time. That's not realistic. You're comparing physics to what is occult science, the ancient mystery religions. They are important. They're not the exact same as science. You're setting up these unrealistic boundaries and parameters because you're a moron. Never mind the 99% of the times that things didn't happen to match the pattern. Hey, Newben Hoofer, show me anybody ever to have more specific predictions than yours truly land at the rate we do. We go through every year at the start of the year and we circle the dates to expect the biggest news. If you followed me at the start of last year, we circled the dates of the Charlie Kirk assassination, the date that Iran got bombed by us and Israel. Year after year, we have the dates circled, and we're just circling one day per month to expect the biggest stories for that month. This stuff is predictable. It is a form of a science because this is how the occult is working. Again, such specific patterns about sports and what would happen, such specific patterns about what to. I mean, you guys, I told everybody all year in 2017 that when Yom Kippur came around that year, the way it lined up, we were going to have the biggest false flag in the U.S. since 9/11. Do you know what happened? The Route 91 Harvest Festival shooting, where over 500 people were reportedly shot, the biggest false flag since 9/11. I never seen anybody in my life give out predictions like that and be correct. Again, never said we can predict everything, but we've been exactly correct about the elections. Again, 2015, when Trump first took the podium for Fox News for the first Republican debate to narrow down the field of 20 candidates, I said that day it looks like Trump is going to become the president. And yes, people do know that as the election got closer, I did think I was wrong. And they said, well, it looks like actually going to put Hillary in. I did come off my prediction, but I saw it for over a year why it was going to be Trump. The reason I came off the prediction was not because of numbers so much, but because of the way Trump was conducting himself. And I was making the point like, listen, Howard Dean was the front runner. What year was that? 2004. And then he went, wahoo! And because he went wahoo, he wasn't presidential. So they threw him out of there. So after Trump doing like the retard thing and all this stuff, I said, maybe they just did all this actually to put Hillary in because nobody likes Hillary. Yeah, but again, like I also said, if you watch my video from 2016 when I was saying why is it going to be Trump, I said it doesn't matter who they put in there. Both parties represent the same cabal, and they got everybody fooled. All elections are rigged and scripted. Again, 2020, I was pretty much the only guy on the internet saying over and over why it was going to be Biden. And 4 years before they reinstalled Trump, I was telling you why they were going to reinstall Trump in 2024. Everyone thought I was wrong about that too. When all the legal cases start coming out, oh, your Trump prediction's definitely wrong. He's in all kinds of trouble. I said, none of that matters. That's just adding to the polarizing nature of Trump, which is going to make people even more pissed when he gets reinstalled. Exactly correct. Never mind the 99% of the times that things didn't happen. What is this person talking about? What are they talking about? I bet they don't know anything about my work. I bet this is the first time they watched one of my channels. Come on, Christian. Christian's the host. You're falling down the truther hole. I get it. You're curious. But I've seen a dozen podcasters go down this road exactly the same way. And before you know it, you're Candace Owens ranting. No, Candace Owens never had a clear pointing to who was, oh, well, she had a false pointing to the Zionists. Again, from day one, we nailed what the Charlie Kirk thing was about. Synced up with the Pope and the Superior General. 1,000,000% correct. Proved our point 1,000,000 times over. We're in the time of the 31st Superior General. Charlie Kirk's dead at 31. His wife, on the anniversary of the Superior General being installed, which is also Charlie Kirk's birthday, October 14th, gets the first presidential medal with a cross on it. Like the Jesuits are a Catholic military order. Crosses. Again, they run this nation. You're Candace Owens ranting about guys in purple shirts or Bridget Macron's nutsack. I mean, this is the kind of shit that we hear when we hear opposition. Just people talking nonsense. And I'm not even saying she's wrong. Hell, she might be right, but I promise you, this stuff is a waste of time. I would wager that there's not a single subject more valuable in the world that anyone can learn right now other than maybe some really great medical procedures to make sure you live to 100 years old. Outside of that, there's not a more important knowledge that you can learn in the world. Again, this stuff is applied to everyday life, so you don't get played by the media that's here to play you. You don't get played by the sports leagues that are here to steal your energy and your time. And you can flip it on them. You can take advantage of the rig sports. You can take advantage of the rig news. You can take advantage of the rig market. You can take advantage of the rig crypto. To say this is a waste of time makes you a complete moron and a liar and a fraud and a despicable human being. These are stories out there. There are stories out there that are way more interesting, that have much more solid proofs with them, such as, you know, this is what when I hear the criticisms, I never hear anything behind these empty statements, such as so much history that is relevant to everything going on today. Yeah, like the Jesuits, like I brought up, being warned about for hundreds of years, from the beginning of this country's inception up to the present. Bring Matt Ehret on from Canadian Patriot. Dude is an absolute beast, a walking encyclopedia of the world's power elite and the dirty deeds they do. Let's look real quick who Matt Ehret is. I bet anything he blames everything on Zionists. I bet that's exactly what he does. Just like all the other fake channels out here. Let me see. Can we get any information on Matt Ehret? All right, he has books too. Let's see. I wonder if he talks about the Jesuit transition from Trudeau to Carney, you know, the perfect Jesuit transition. Let's see. Well, it's hard to say what his work's about because it doesn't really give a good synopsis. But hey, let's see if we can find his books. Let's see. Let's see what we can see his topics are about. I wonder if he wrote a book that put out in the middle of 2020 exactly predicting when the Cooties 19 scam would end, like I did. You know, it said they'll end their scam when the year of the tiger comes around. Exactly what they did right after Super Bowl 56. And of course, you read my book. You know why Super Bowl 56 matters. That's when they fired up their scam by the same numbers with Ukraine. All right. Well, actually, I do like that he's talking about the British roots of the deep state exposed, because I do talk about how things do run through England as well. But again, it runs from England right back to the Vatican. All right. So, yeah, I'm not going to judge his work because I don't know it, but I would be curious to see what he says is so much better. So much better. I don't see that he put out a book exposing Cooties 19, the biggest scam of our lifetime that was run by Jesuits across the board. So, by the same old number pattern the whole way through from start to finish, 56. But yeah, you would think a Canadian might catch on that all their leaders up there are Jesuit educated too. So anyway, I doubt he teaches his people how to make money off the rigged system day in and day out. But yeah, a lot of people got big claims with nothing behind it. Shout out to the Out of Pocket Variety Show. What's up, Zach? Congrats on a solid interview the other day. LaMelo was born a day before Kobe's 23rd birthday and was drafted by number 23 in 2020. He was drafted probably number 23 overall. With what a name, LaMelo Ball. Hold on. Let's see. We got somebody else in the back. What's up, man? Don't forget to unmute. Oh, I put him on and he's out of here. All right. Do we have anybody else? Does anybody else want to talk about the topic? Come on. For all you haters out there, let me know who you've ever seen make better predictions ever. Across the board, sports, news, politics, elections. Let me know. For the people out there who got out of jail and we helped them raise money and they now troll the channel every day, we helped you get back on your feet and now you troll every day. Why don't you call in and tell us why you're doing what you're doing? Because everybody knows that that's just the definition of a piece of shit. Somebody who helped raise money for you when you got out of jail and now you troll the channel every day and spam all this bullshit. Why don't you call in? Because we know you're watching right now. Again, let's hear from anybody. Any people, any and everybody. Is it synchromysticism? Was Mark Passio right? Is it synchromysticism? We got Sugo, who made another $1,000 off the knowledge last night. He's not leaving dumb comments like how it's all just some kind of coincidence. All right, if we don't have anybody else who wants to call in and contribute, I got to get back on the sports grind. We got to get the sports stream going on Patreon. But one last chance to call in. I'll drop the link one more time. Yeah, and you know, it's sad because a lot of people ask me for financial help, and I've helped out a lot of people over the years, but I really can't help anyone anymore because almost everybody who I've helped out has turned out to be a troll. And it's crazy, man, because of this network. They act like they're your friend, and then all of a sudden they become weirdos, and I just can't do it anymore. I can't help out people, you know. And I hate to say that, but you know, I can't. There's been too many. There's been too many people that I helped out, and they were turned out to be nothing but trolls. I wish I could get all the money back that I ever gave these shitty people. Point blank. Period. So. What does need more help is this work. Yeah, I am doing just great financially, but the reason this work needs more support is because it needs major funding behind it. So there can be billboards up all across the nation. There can be GematriaEffectNews studios. There should. And like I told you guys 10 years ago, I said, listen, man, we don't change the course of this world. You don't see many people out here that actually have the power and ability to change the course of the world because they're not really putting out anything that matters. They're not really exposing anything. I said a decade ago, I said, you don't change the course of this world. You don't get behind the right movements. Just watch how bad things get. Watch how expensive things get. Look at us now. I told you it was easy to see. The writing was on the wall. I mean, all you had to do was know about Agenda 21 and 2030. That they want to phase out consumption. They want it so that people are broke and just can't do much. It's all part of the plan. It was written in stone. We got Gabe, and then we got Car Dude Mike. What's up, Gabe?
Hey, Zach. How are you?
Yeah, nice call again. Great research on the Warriors and Knicks game yesterday.
Yeah. It's writing on the wall, like you just mentioned. It's seen that from like a week in advance. So, you can't take advantage of this knowledge. And if you took them live, you would catch them at plus 135. So, it was a nice day. So, I mean, it's them doing 9/11 numbers. Warriors staying on 911 losses since 9/11, meeting a New York team who has 9 wins and 11 losses on the road. How perfect is that? So, yeah, just want to mention that, they are doing this, these rituals, 9/11, sneaking news, world events with sports. Just want to leave it at that. I learned all this information from you.
And you've done a great job taking it to the next level in your decoding. So appreciate it, Gabe.
All right, man. Take care.
Yeah, take care. Yeah, Gabe had a next level decode on it's crazy. I don't know if he learned to decode things measuring from September 11, 2001 from Itachi, because I know Itachi's been doing that, but it was crazy what they did with the Knicks this week in their sequence of games synced up with September 11th. And it makes me wonder, since they got these perfect rituals so coordinated with September 11th, are we on the verge of another big one? But he was 1,000,000% correct about this pattern he'd been following with the Knicks all week. What's up, Car Dude Mike?
Hey, Zach, you can hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, on the topic, if this is, what is it? Synchro.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is not synchromysticism at all. It is a real thing occurring every day. Yeah, for example, yesterday, you talked about the Magic playing in Berlin with all their German players. Cashed on that.
And by the way, I want to say something about that too, because I just keep thinking. Remember, they had the game literally synced up with Hitler yesterday, just like last year they had a big tribute for their German star Franz on Hitler's birthday. So you guys, wow. Memphis and Germany both equal 106. The Orlando Magic with all the German players won the first game in Germany yesterday for an NBA regular season over Memphis. But Memphis and Germany equal 106, and the game was a span of 106 days from Hitler's birthday. They have all these Germans playing in Orlando. What's in Orlando? Disney World. Look into the history of Adolf Hitler sketching Disney characters before they're even credited to Walt Disney. So
yeah, his name, 201.
What exactly? What is going on with Disney and Hitler and Germans and the first game in Berlin? Keep in mind, Disney owns ESPN and a lot of these news networks. Keep in mind, this is the nation that flew over a lot of German Nazi scientists after the World War, not to mention on the 201st day of the year it began. Wouldn't it be the ultimate mockery if we found out that there is, they told us in our school books that Hitler deleted himself
Mm-hmm.
His body was never found, a story that doesn't make any sense. Is it possible that he is Walt Disney? Is it possible that maybe that's not quite it, but he's related to Disney or there's some partnership there? Because look it up. It is known that Hitler was sketching these Disney characters before they are connected to Disney. So
Yeah.
what is going on, you guys? And think about how big that mockery would, raising us up on Disney and all this stuff. You know, Disneyland was established a decade after they started bringing over the Nazi scientists. I think that is what's going on, you guys. I think that's how big of a mockery it is. And I think there is something deeper to that because I was convinced as an 18-year-old when 9/11 happened that this was a nation full of Nazis. I said, people can't see that they're Nazis, but they are, because right now they're cheering for a genocide against a religious group because they just got false flagged and they believe the lies. Again, just put a yellow bumper sticker on your car and go along with the lies and cheer on the needless war. And you look at people today. You look at a lot of these Americans today. They don't like Muslims. They don't like brown people. They're really mad about Muslim brown scammers in Minnesota. And even if it is a scam, it's so minuscule compared to the scam that is your government. Everything going on. This is finally the outrage. You weren't outraged about when your government locked down your country and the world. Other governments did as well over the flu and took away your way of life and shifted a bunch of wealth to the billionaire class. You weren't mad about that. It's because you can't see it. You got your Nazi goggles on. I'm telling you, this nation, it's a bunch of Nazis. I wasn't wrong when I called it out as an 18-year-old. It's more evident than ever today. Not to mention they got Elon Musk coming in there doing Nazi salutes on Inauguration Day. Please.
Yeah, and to add to the magic, I think the Disney World, their motto is like the most magical place in the world or something like that. Um, uh, and yeah, to go back on topic, I think just for me in my personal life, all the numbers and stuff like that, but it didn't make sense to me when I didn't get to go back to school and finish in 2020. I'm 24 right now. And yeah, it just didn't make sense to me. And my brother was watching your show, and then I got into it like that, and I've been there ever since. So, yeah.
Well, hey, I'm glad your brother showed it to you. Very cool. So many people's lives were disrupted by the Cooties 19 pandemic. A lot of people never went back to school, and it's caused a major disruption in their life. So,
Yeah, they made an announcement, we're not coming back after spring break or something like that. And I was like, really? Like over, a virus or whatever? They make it sound like an apocalypse or something. I'm like, okay, whatever, dude.
yeah,
I didn't like school anyway.
Lock down the world over the flu. And you guys,
Yeah.
look, today, you guys, or actually it was yesterday. Yesterday was the anniversary of the first case of cooties showing up in the U.S. And yesterday they had to report that the first death in the nation happened this year from flu. On the anniversary of cooties showing up in the U.S., a date that can be written 15/1 like pandemic's 151. Now you see, today the mainstream media is pushing the fear-mongering about get your child pokey-doked because, look, this 4-year-old died yesterday from the flu. What do we know about 4?
The number of dead.
Yeah. Again, this is why having this knowledge helps you see what they're doing because they're so redundant. 4 is death to the occult. The first flu death this year is a 4-year-old. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's crazy. They put it in everything. Movies, especially. I tend to watch a lot of movies, and yeah, it's crazy, man. They show it all the time. 201, 33, 322. It's crazy. I have a bunch of examples of it, and it's just so much.
Indeed.
Yeah. But thank you for taking my call, Zach. I'll keep listening.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you. All right, we got Nathan, GAD, and then Satori. Oh, Nathan just dropped out. What's with this trend of calling in and then when I go to you, you drop out? What's that about? GAD, don't forget to unmute. What's up, GAD?
Hey, how you doing, Zach?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, so who was that dude last night and to the point,
Uh-oh, GAD, right when you got going, right when you said to the point, we lost you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, right when you said to the point, it dropped out, but now I hear you.
Okay, yeah, no, to the point, like, to what you were talking about, as far as the title of the topic, there ain't a synchronicity. I mean, as far as or whatever the hell he was talking about last night, I didn't even watch the full debate with this or conversation with this cat, but No, I mean this is the practice of coding numbers in the letters. This is what they do. And my thing is, when you start to see people like McGregor or other individuals talk about this knowledge as it's doing, um, it's very evident and obvious that this is how this world is worked. And I'm gonna say this since I've met you and since I've stumbled upon your work, I started to know certain things about certain things in my own community as a as an Israelite, right? As a person who exposes the shit that goes on in the society and specifically in my own religious community, I start to see the same patterns and numbers with certain individuals, even with Hollywood or even with things with myself. So, and look, and I've started to see that a lot of this shit is nothing but is nothing but script. Pretty much all this shit is scripted. So, to me, for that dude to sit up here and say the shit he was saying last night, or at least a similar to what I was listening to, that's asinine, bro.
It is. It's frustrating. It's frustrating how many people just have these really hard opinions with nothing behind it. It's so irritating.
Yeah, well, you know, it- I'm at the point now looking at it. It's like if you're making mockery of this shit, you're and acting as if this shit is not real, then because you have all these individuals who is very eerie to me that they're that hell bent on coming to your channel or your platform or even on the little Patreon shit, trolling, talking shit, you know. And it's amazing that some of these
Dedicated network
individuals
of
will
trolls,
feel,
always, you guys. Dedicated network of trolls. And again, the one guy who screen records everything and just tries to capture what's wrong to paint this false picture like a political attack ad. And then anywhere I go, everyone's spamming. Check out his channel. It shows that Zach's work's a fraud. Meanwhile, that guy will never call in and debate, even though he's watching and screen recording right now. And the one time that I did catch him on somebody else's stream, they took down the whole stream right after because he looked like a total asshole when I called it. It was weird. He was almost like he had to be honest in person. And I was like, oh, weird. And then the whole video got taken down. The one time I got to interact with that little lispy, dick sucking, you know what he is. But anyway, go ahead. Go ahead. GAD, you still there? Oh, snap. We lost him. He'll call back if he wants to get back in. All right. We got Satori and then we got Nebula. Satori.
Hey, Zach, can you hear me?
I hear you.
Can you hear me?
I hear you. He must not be able to hear me.
Hey, Zach, can you hear me?
I hear you.
I can't hear you. Let me try leaving and coming back.
All right. All right, we'll get Satori when he comes back. GAD came back, and then we got Satori comes back, then we got Nebula. What GAD? Don't forget to unmute. It's got your mic muted right now, GAD. You got to unmute that thing.
oh yeah, my bad. That was me. That was no connection problem. But yeah, no. Overall, yeah. I mean, to me, it seemed like these individuals, they have to be paid because it seemed like if you weren't around, they would have no existence to begin with because some of these characters like that dude in the gas station, like that's if I'm not mistaken, didn't that
Shoot. We're having some connection issues today.
man, bro? Like but see, to me, anytime you see somebody being attacked that much, that shows that whatever they're saying, I mean, that's just by logic. I mean, we can verify everything that you're saying. It's true, but anytime you see a whole group of individuals fighting for this specific entity that is going against their best interests, but somehow they're going against you that's going against the entity going against their best interest, that's how you know that this shit's true. This shit is real. Because they're not going to sit up here and they're not going to sit up here and attack platforms that don't go against their agenda. It's just they're just not going to do it. They're going to actually endorse those particular platforms. So, far as that individual last night, I probably need to watch the rest of that video. Like I said, I didn't watch the whole thing. But yeah, it is what it is. But I do think it is a positive thing, because the whole point is to put the information out. You never know who could wake up from it. That'd be the positive to that, because somebody you might see somebody mocking, but you don't know how many other people where a light bulb's clicking in their brain to be like, okay,
Just
this
to
is
be clear, in
logical.
case there's some confusion, the guy who interviewed me is really into the work. We
Oh,
talked
okay.
afterwards, and he said this is probably the most mind-blowing day I've ever had in my life.
Okay.
No, I'm reading a comment from his comment section. I'm talking about a comment left on that video by a moron. Your typical average moron, this guy. I'm not talking about the interviewer.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, it's
But I get tired of this shit,
yeah.
because this is what reminds me of humanity. This is what you just run into all the time. These people just talking bullshit like they know what they're talking about when they don't. Like, what are you talking about? What based in what? You've never seen anything this comprehensive put together this way. Who are you comparing me to? There's no one to compare me to. What are you talking about? It gets so annoying listening to these morons.
I mean, but here's the thing though. Whenever you see it in all their media, man. Like, I'm starting to see, the tool. I mean, you start to see the same numbers. 201.
Exactly. I'm educating you guys about 201 for how long, and they got to come out in the Maduro thing and tell you right in the press conference, we got him at 2:01 a.m. They just got to say it. Why does that even need to be said? Is that an important detail? Not an important detail. No, signature.
Exactly. No, remember when Trump walked out, in his presidential election, it was 2 on the East Coast. I believe it was 2 a.m. Yeah, 2 a.m. first minute.
All the time. Listen, Biden addresses the nation about what's going on with Russia and Ukraine at literally 2:22 sharp on the date 2/22. And what? If people read my book, they would have got it. Why 9/11 was exactly 222 months before the Cooties-19 pandemic, when Wuhan Corona VIRUS equals 222, like order out of chaos, like World Economic Forum, like New York, and on and on and on. Again, they are doing number rich, not to mention what happens the next year on that date. Wasn't the next year on that date Laken Hope Riley 222, the 22-year-old on 222 that Trump said without that event and the hoax shooting, he probably wouldn't have got elected? Oh, so two big hoaxes, two big psyops by the numbers are what got him elected? And you don't see the power of understanding this? You got to be stupid.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think that, yeah, man, I think at this point, especially when you're starting to see people like Conor McGregor and that one, entity, what's her name, Taylor Swift, if that's even a she, by the way.
Right.
I'm just going to be honest, just based off of photo compositions I've seen. But no, I mean, they're starting to talk about it. I mean, I'm starting to see, actual media talk about it. Like, when I started watching these shows, they literally reference Gematria. Whether you're watching a live action TV series or movies or anime or whatever, that's why I'm, and I'm in on here. That's why, Zach, I'm actually starting a new channel to speak specifically on Gematria. I mean, I have spoken on my ministry page in times past, but I'm about to create a new channel to really go into certain of things that I'm seeing just in my every day, watching certain of this media, certain forms of media. I know that there was a character on here named that D. Luffy clown or whatever, you know, talking shit about the work and shit. But even within the stuff that's in all these series and shit, you start to realize that 201, that Jesuit shit is all up in there, So I'm gonna
It's
start
everywhere
doing
once you
videos.
recognize it. It's everywhere. It's in kids' cartoons,
Yes.
everything. They're just sticking it
Yeah.
everywhere once you recognize it. That's the thing. You don't recognize it, you don't notice it. It goes unnoticed. You don't know
Right.
it's just like you walk around a city, the tag's everywhere, but it doesn't register in your brain because you don't know what it means. Once you recognize it, you're like, damn, this tag is everywhere. Okay, I know what that represents now. It's the same thing.
Exactly. But yeah, be on the lookout. Eventually, in a month or two, I'm gonna probably make a channel and start posting videos about gematria and certain things. So, But yeah, that's all I have, Zach, man.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you again, GAD.
Yeah, no doubt. Take it easy.
All right, take care. All right, we got Story back, then Nebula, then we got Boviathan, and then Mike. Well, okay, what's up, Story?
Wow, can you hear me, Zach?
Yes, just talk. Even if you can't hear me, just
I
talk.
can't hear you, but
Just
I'm
talk.
just gonna say this, and I'll listen to your response on the playback. But I know I was playing 2K, and this might sound crazy. I was playing 2K with my roommate yesterday, and he's a way better player than me. But as we're playing the game, I just keep saying the date numerology in the course of the game. Like in the first quarter, he's like beating me 26 to like 8. And I'm just like, there's no way this is going on. He's home. And as we're playing, like I'm looking at it like I know he's better than me, but he shouldn't be beating me this bad. He's home. He's getting all the calls. And at one point, he has a 26-point lead on me at half. I'm just like, wow, this is crazy. Like, is it like synchronicity, or is it just the game being aware with the date numerology, so it's favoring him? And I was just blown out my mind. I was able to not be beaten too badly. I think I was able to cut it down to like a 10, 15-point game. But it was just one of those things where I felt like as I'm playing, even though I know he's better than me, I felt like the game itself was working against me all based off the numbers, where I can try to go on a run, but then there's just the AIs in the games don't catch the ball. He's getting all the calls, and it was just mind blowing to see how wow the games like is a game. I don't want to say it's AI interface, but something like that to where wow it's really replicating. Is really the game is working in his favor all based off the numbers. I'm not gonna say he won because of that, but it sure felt like he was getting some type of boost just off that. To where wow, in the first quarter he scores exactly 26 points. And it was just like, man. But I was watching a little bit of your live stream yesterday, and the interview that you did. And Zach, I think you just know too much, man. You just know too much. And you've been doing this for as long as you have, to where you have reference numbers that current events that's going on today can connect to something that happened 5, 10 years ago. And I don't want to say you have to maybe dumb down your approach, but even when I listen to you and some of your other veteran decoders you have up here, like Gematria 32 and Elohim, it really sounds like you guys are talking your own language. And I can see how the common man would be not necessarily just be turned off, but it just wouldn't register because this is esoteric knowledge. So back then this was knowledge I was only spoken to from person to person, to where only the people that are involved know. So it's like, even when I try to talk to my homeboy yesterday, just giving him betting advice, look for guys who wear number 8, especially on like the hockey side. Look for guys that can get their 17 gold, stuff like that. And he just didn't comprehend at first how does 17 relate to 8. It was like you add up the digits, bro. It's 1 plus 7 is 8, or 2 plus 6 is 8. You feel me? So it's like that stuff that wasn't even taught to us in school, but it's so elementary at its core, to where all it is just adding numbers. I mean, and these numbers have value to them. And I think just the common person, when they hear this stuff, some people might just think it's witchcraft, occult, saying vernacular, just bullshit. But it's very important. It's very knowledgeable to try to grasp these concepts. It's not hard, but even watching your live stream, the interview you did, just certain numbers that like the 146, people aren't gonna. I just understand that at first, especially how it relates to Trump or Trump in '88. But I for sure numbers that pop up too often, like 33, 47, 201. I think that should be not what you should focus on, but especially if you want the approach to get to, or if you want the message to get to more people, I think that you got to start small. And and probably in your eyes, all this stuff is stalled because it's so simple. But just listening to you talk to that guy, you can see on his face like he's understanding certain points in the conversation, and then certain points where he's just lost. So
I don't know. I don't think he was lost. I think he got it. He said it was the most mind-blowing conversation of his life after we got done talking. He
yeah,
said,
I don't understand how that I'm in the room now. I
"Oh yeah,
can't
you
hear
can't hear me."
you.
All right,
I
appreciate
definitely got to
the
listen to this
story.
in the
Yeah,
playback,
yeah,
but
thank you, story.
that's all.
You can't hear me. But yeah, no, I mean that there are elements of truth that a lot of people just can't grasp it. I didn't feel like there was anything too complicated that I gave in that thing. I didn't talk about 146 a single time in the interview, so but like if you can't follow how Trump equals 88 when I bring it up with Turning Point USA and the Republican Party and Trump's birthday being 88 days before Charlie Kirk died and the Mar-a-Lago raid being on 88 and Oprah interviewing him in 88 if he'd want to be president and all the other 88s I brought up about Trump, the Pope's death at 88 sync with Trump. If you can't understand that, because if you didn't watch the interview, I mean, I started out with how numerology works. I gave the breakdown. I taught how the 4-base ciphers work and showed how it's all connected. So all introductory, and then we did start with 33 because it's just such a classic example. But again, if you're like listening and you can't comprehend it, I don't know. I just think it's because you're a retard. So that's as simple as it is to me. And what are you going to do? I mean, there's not much you can do about retards other than throw them in a wood chipper. And I really think that's where we are with humanity. A lot of people just need to go in the wood chipper, get rid of them. Just like the cabal wants to get them out of here. I think they got the right plan with that. I just wish they'd work faster. I mean, that's the problem. There's just too many dumb people. They got to go. We got Nebula, Bephiathan, Mike, Carlos, Pigos Trading Desk. What's up, Nebula?
Hello, brother Jack.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, first of all, man, I want to thank you for all your hard work, man. I've been following you for some time. Um, I just wanted to share something that I don't know if the community caught um, for the narrative for the Super Bowl. Uh, the 49ers just signed a dude named Eric Kendricks. He got signed to the practice squad back in November, and he got on the active roster for the Eagles game. And someone else shared something about Iceman, the quarterback for the Bears. His nickname is Iceman, and Drake album dropping soon called Iceman. And Kendrick Lamar was the performer for last Super Bowl, so it might have something to do with the narrative somewhere down the line. Possible 49er Bears matchup.
It's funny. They don't even have this guy in Pro Football Reference, Eric Hendricks.
Yeah, because I only thought about it because just about every
he must be on the practice squad. He must not be on the official roster.
No, he got activated. He played during the Eagles game.
Really? That Pro Football Reference still doesn't have him on their website. Interesting. I do see the articles about him.
Yeah, I just thought about it because every time I see a 49ers video, like fan videos or like people talking about the game, they just keep bringing up Kendricks.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a great decoder, but maybe it had something to do with the dates because he got signed. He got signed to the practice squad on November 25th of last year, and he was promoted to the active roster on January 7th.
Okay.
But yeah, man, I just want to keep it short. Mahalo for all the hard work, man. I appreciate you. We listen to you all the way over here in Hawaii, man.
Appreciate that. I'll have to look more to Eric Hendricks. Thank you.
Mahalo.
All right, take care. Thank you, Nebula. All right, Bephiathan. Another person who just bounces. What's the point of sitting in the back room and then you get on and you just drop off immediately? What is that about? It's like a weird form of trolling. What's up, Mike?
Hey, what's up, Zach? Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
Nothing. I know you read this comment like years ago, but I just wanted to bring it up again. That Mark Passio episode aired on March 10th, 2019, and it was 232 days after your birthday, and the word synchromysticism equals 232.
Satan is also 232 since he's Mr. Church of Satan. Because I'm telling you, he never took my call, and there was a million times he could have taken it, and there was a bunch of times he could have taken it after. The only time he ever took the call.
Yes. So if this is Synchromysticism, okay, that's amazing. But if he actually planned this out, that's even like more amazing. You know, like what are these people fucking on?
Again, he is a Jesuit and former member of the Church of Satan. It's possible. And the thing is, he acted like he's not that aware of me. I can't think of what his buddy is that does the show with him. They'd talked about my work before. They've talked about it since. God, I can't. That claims to be an Illuminati whistleblower. About a
Dave
year
Parker?
back, last time Mark Passio did a live show, they were talking about me. His guest, his co-host was mostly talking about me, and then Mark didn't have much to say back in return. So I think he's not allowed to talk about this.
Well, that's the thing. Like he comes off as this macho persona. Like you're not gonna tell me what to do, and he's getting orders like this. So that's how phony these people are as well.
Remember, his ex Barb died by the numbers too.
Yeah, so just for the listener, if you think what you're seeing is just like a normal thing and there's nothing to it, there actually might be something to it. Like there's kind of always something to everything, just so you're aware. And this organic matrix thing is probably real. And
It is. I mean, I have so many examples just from my own life, and so do other people. But that doesn't. People like to use that to say, "See, well, how do you know everything's not that way?" It's like, come on, man. This contrived crap in the news every day. This perfect number rituals. This isn't organic.
Yeah, and I was trying to explain to my friend last night, the idea that the days of the week offset every the next year, like you'll never have a Monday on January 1st 2 years in a row. Like this is a part of the design of the calendar for them to to kind of have like a revolving clock. It's just so amazing, the design of the calendar and the language and how they all match up. And maybe that's why it's so intimidating, because maybe we're just smarter than we actually realize to understand this from an outsider perspective.
That's one way to look at it. But like I've often said, have you ever seen the movie Idiocracy?
Yeah.
Remember, he's not that smart, but he's like a genius compared to all these retards. So that's really how I see it. Just that humanity's just been that dumbed down, and we're just not as dumb as they are.
Yeah, but it's also fear. Like think about how scary it is to go from not understanding this stuff to understanding it.
To me, it's not scary, but I understand for a lot of people it is, because their worldview is so important to them.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like you kind of have all this faith put into you about these religious leaders, the government, the police, the military, and then you find out all these ritual murders and stuff associated with everything. It is scary. And I guess the only people who aren't scared are the ones who are okay with God, I guess, like the people that know that God is real. And if you're a moral person, even if you get tortured to death, you're still good. I think that's the only thing that separates the fearful from the brave.
Yeah, that's probably part of it. Yeah, I guess courage is lacking in society. Yeah.
Yep. But that's all I wanted to say. Really appreciate the work.
All right, man. I appreciate
And
it too.
oh, one last thing. Did you measure from the death of Tony Todd until the Super Bowl this year?
Again, Tony Todd, the Candyman actor, died, set in Chicago, died the day they called the election for Trump in the Chicago ritual. And it's been nonstop Chicago rituals ever since. I did
460 days.
like Chicago's 46.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's just something that's because that's the thing. Like I learned that it's not just they're doing one ritual for one thing in the future. It's like a branch network, multiple things connecting in different ways from different areas of the media. So the entertainment industry is connected with the sports, and that's connected with the politics, and it's connected with random YouTubers and random deaths of 18-year-olds in Chicago.
Well, I don't know if random YouTubers is the right word.
Yeah.
The chosen one. The chosen
well,
agents.
seemingly random.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the and David Icke. I know he's definitely a shill, but he talks about the spider web matrix thing, and who knows exactly how much he's actually saying is true. So like if there's like some type of, sub reality to our, what we can normally experience. They say we can only experience 1% of the light spectrum. So we're basically just blind, even though we're the most advanced people on Earth, or, beings on Earth. So like these people might have access to these underneath realms, like, Stranger Things and all that shit.
Stranger Things, which represents the tree, the upside down tree, like the evil half of Kabbalah. Yeah. Again, there's a big fat 201 right in the beginning of one of the Stranger Things episodes, and the whole MK Ultra program has the 201 all over it, and that show's about MK Ultra. So yeah, even a show like that's got the symbolism everywhere.
Yeah, and mainstream science, they teach you that matter and the universe is dead, but in the occult perspective, everything is living and everything is imbued with consciousness, which would, kind of depict how this type of, lattice of, matrix actually works.
Yeah. Yeah. Competing worldviews, and a lot of people have been trained that only one is important, and the occult is definitely not the important one. And again, I think that's part of the indoctrination.
But that's all. Again, I really appreciate you, man.
All right.
Keep strong.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
Got it. Bye.
Yeah. I had forgotten about that. You guys pointed that out to me years ago, how he did that synchromysticism thing. Yeah, I guess it's possible that was organic, but I don't think so, because there was something very purposeful about him taking my call that day. What's up, Carlos? We got Carlos, then Pigos, and then Sit Up.
Oh, hi there, Zach. I'm gonna try to keep it concise. Two things. The first one, it was that video, the interview you did was pretty cool. I really like that one about the organic gematria. Interesting enough, myself and my wife, we have the same birthday, November 10, 83. And I think it boils to like a master number or something like that, which is kind of weird. But anyways, the second thing is well, I'm trying to find leads for the Super Bowl. Maybe this will help, maybe not. Who knows? O.J. Simpson. You were talking about. He's like a Buffalo Bill, and he's riding on the Bronco, right? I think he also was in the 49ers. O.J. Simpson. And the only one that I kind of see is Super Bowl 24, 1990, the one with San Francisco and Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe that could be a possible matchup. I'm not sure, since they're bringing a reference to O.J. Simpson and the Niners and instead of the Levi Stadium.
Okay.
Yeah, and it has to do with Joe Montana too. Like the whole thing with like them. So I'm just trying to figure out some possible matches, but I think it might be decided once like what's it called? They go the next round.
Yeah, that's possible.
All right, cool. Thank you, Isaac.
All right. Yeah. Have a good one. Take care. All right. We got Pigo, Sit Up, and then 49ers fan. What's up, Pigo?
What's going on, Zach? How you doing, man?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Just wanted to say good work with our brother Christian. It's nice to see you in a sports coat. Yeah, I like that. You did a good job breaking it down with him. I texted him afterwards, and yeah, really good work there. And the one thing I wanted to touch on is I noticed an anomaly, like with the U.S. markets, right? Every time gold goes up 38% or more, the following year there's a massive collapse. Now 38 is, the number for murder and kill.
Gold equals 38. So, the golden anniversary of the Super Bowl, hosted by the 49ers on the 38th day of the year, won by the 38th state. That was part of how we called Super Bowl 50 a million miles in advance.
Yeah, and I noticed that today. I was reading a report, I think it's from Goldman Sachs, talking about that, the 38. And I'm like, this is interesting, because I think the U.S. is going to collapse this year.
House
based on everything I'm seeing.
When Trump was running and they got all this thing synced up with him being 79th element on the table, gold.
Yeah, but I think gold and silver are going to pull back pretty hard this year as well. I think soft commodities is where we should be looking, but
here's the thing you're talking about. Yeah, it's interesting how they measure it at 38%. And again, this is the evidence day in and day out of this occult knowledge. I'm surprised you didn't say that gold equals 38 right away, but just the most simple cipher, gold, 38. Remember, the Niners won Super Bowl 16 with number 16, Joe Montana, 134 years to the day of the gold rush beginning. Spell out 49ers, 134. If you think this is a synchromysticism and not a total rig, you're a moron. Super Bowl 16, where that's also one of the gold ciphers, again, won 134 years to the day of the gold rush beginning.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But I do believe
out there going, where's proof that these are four relevant ciphers? How about in what I've proven every day for over a decade, you fucking retard? Anyway, go ahead, Piggo.
I know you can get tangential. That's okay. But yeah, I do believe the Niners are going to go now. I had the Seahawks, but with everything associated with O.J. Simpson and considering what it's 36 years later since the Niners and the Broncos played, I think it could be the Niners and the Broncos.
I'd love to see that because I advised that as a future at the start of the year, the O.J. Simpson Bowl. It'd be 2 6s in the 26 Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. But yeah, that's all I noticed was the 38 with gold and how there's always a huge market correction the next year. And I do believe gold and silver are going to be a part of that because when the market collapses, everything sells off. People should hedge appropriately and look into soft commodities because those are perishable goods. Those actually get hit hardest with inflation when things go to shit, like food. So people should prepare themselves.
Yeah. I appreciate you bringing this article to my attention because it's just another example of how these benchmark numbers speak volumes when you know the ABC 123 code.
Oh, and one more thing. You talked about 88 with Trump. I think I sent you an article that we wrote inspired by your work on Trump with 88 and how it correlates to the Shah of Iran.
Okay.
Because we try to do gematria as much as we can, but we do financial markets mostly, so it's kind of a workaround, but we try.
Okay. Appreciate
All
it.
right, brother.
Thank you, Piggo.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you guys, gold is the 79th element. It soared while Trump was age 79, declaring it the golden era. Again, we told you that Todd Golden was going to win the March Madness before the term began on 4-7 for number 47, who spends all his time in Florida. Easy call. One of several correct futures this year. Again, we've hit 6 of the last 7 Masters for again. Added another resume for March Madness. Nailed the Kentucky Derby again this year. My Super Bowl future from 59 was a hair off, which put us in position to win. We won all through the playoffs, and then we hedged with the Eagles because we knew that 22 was a huge threat to the Chiefs. NBA Finals future cashed. We had a future for Blue Jays to win the AL pennant. Only 121 team in the year of the 121st World Series. I got all these losers around. Oh, your NFL futures aren't doing that good this year. And yeah, true, but and what? Have I not already proven my point for over a decade across all sports? How many futures did we hit this year? Why are you losers not here commenting? We already know why, because you're trolls, as we cash future after future, huh, loser? Just shut the fuck up, losers, and admit you're paid for pieces of shit, okay? Again, you're never going to undo the greatest resume of futures calling in the history of the world, which you're looking at right here. Shut up. You know it's true. All right, what's up, Sit Up and 49er fan?
Yo, what's up? Zach, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. What's up?
All right, can you you don't mind going on YouTube to watch a little clip? It's like 2 minutes.
It depends, because I don't want to get a copyright.
It's a game. It's called Metal Gear Solid 2.
I'm aware of this game, like Snake or something, Solid Snake or something, right?
Oh, okay. Got you.
Can you just tell me about it? Because I don't want to take the copyright chance.
The whole Jesuits, who run this nation, the president is a figurehead, the whole.
They talk about the Jesuits in Metal Gear Solid 2?
Yeah, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah, they call it the Patriots, the Patriots or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, but they don't actually reference the Jesuits, I see.
They said what, 12 people, 12 certain people, whatever. Yeah, like even he don't know who's the head honcho, stuff like that. Keep them at certain levels. I'm like, yeah, okay. Crazy. Okay. Yeah, that's all though.
All right. Appreciate that. Thank you. 49ers fan, what's up?
How you doing? I'm new to the Gematria. I always enjoy your content, and yeah, I'm a big 49ers fan.
Did you know that the Niners won Super Bowl 16 134 years to the day of the gold rush beginning?
I remember them winning the Super Bowl, but I didn't know about that.
Look at this. Gold 16. When you spell out 49ers, it's 134. And look at this. Super Bowl 16 date, January 24th, 1982. When did the gold rush begin?
49, 48 or 49?
January 24th, 1848, right?
Yeah.
So the gold rush began January 24th, 1848. Super Bowl 16, January 24th, 1982.
Wow.
134 years to the day.
No, somehow. How about all the 49ers Super Bowls? Well, they're on the losing streak as far as Super Bowls. The first one they had with Harbaugh, he went up against his brother.
47, right?
Yep. Yeah, that was in the Superdome, and
34-minute blackout. The state that equals 34.
I was going to say it was a blackout. There was a blackout before at when they played Pittsburgh at Candlestick.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep. There was a blackout that season too. You're correct.
That was weird. I was like,
how that Cyril ended. They couldn't stop Frank Gore in the second half. Right after the blackout, the Niners come roaring back.
Roaring back. Exactly.
Averaging 8 yards a carry. They get right down to the goal line, 1st and goal. Colin Kaepernick, ran the same play 3 straight times and just threw the ball out the back of the end zone? I mean, what are we doing here? They can't stop Gore, run the ball in the end zone and win the game. It's just like when the Seahawks lost to Brady in Super Bowl 49.
Right. And then Shanahan, he's sorry about that. Sorry about that. And he's had bad luck in Super Bowls.
But you know what they did? I mean, those were our favorite Super Bowls. Joe Montana 54. The first one was the 2019 season.
He was the coordinator with the Falcons, right? When he was up by so many
25 on 2-5 versus Brady. Yeah. But again, Super Bowl 54 was the Joe Montana Bowl. He played for both teams, wore 19 for the Chiefs. He won Super Bowl 16 and 19 with the Niners, but won 19 with the Chiefs. Who wins the 2019 season? The Chiefs do over the Niners. Super Bowl 58, 54th of the modern era. Chiefs, first team to go back-to-back in 19 years. The score was 16-19 like the Montana jerseys before they tied up 19 all to go to overtime. And then McCole Hardman catches the game winner on a wide-open pass that just looked ridiculous for his 19th career touchdown. I mean, these are total strips.
Scripts. And, the last Super Bowl, they with Kansas City lost in overtime with Purdy, and makes you think Kansas City was invincible. And then last year, Kansas City and Philly, and I don't know, Kansas City didn't come to play last year or what? And then
look at this. They picked up their 20th postseason loss. Eagles 22.
This year, all our players are hurt. And we go into Philadelphia and take down the Super. So it's kind of something.
Did you watch the beginning of this video when I was playing a clip from 7 years ago about what I said about Philadelphia sports in 135?
I missed that. I'm sorry, I missed that.
Well, I was just playing a clip from 7 years ago. I educated a Philadelphia sports fan about Philly in 135. We thought the Niners were likely going to become 13-5 in Philadelphia as they did. And I thought the winning score would likely be 23 points because Brady was calling the game exactly 23 weeks after his birthday. We also had McCaffrey for 2 touchdowns, which he got to by the numbers. Notice McCaffrey scored the 23rd points, number 23. Then they purposefully missed the extra point to win it with 23 weeks after Brady's birthday on the nose.
That's right. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. It's setting up. And then I don't know about this Saturday, Seahawks. Something's mentioned about Darnold has a oblique strain, so I don't know. It's like it's setting up, even though the Niners are, they're playing with fourth stringers.
I hate the National Fix League. It's just so annoying to even listen to this shit. Listen, he had the whole week to rest. He wasn't hurt. Now, storyline. Oh man, his oblique is hurt. This goes on every year. This goes on every year. You're like, what the fuck was he doing? He's got the week off. He was sitting back watching too much Netflix and strained his obliques. I mean, it's just so annoying. I mean, the league is it's just pure idiocy. The National Fix League.
Yeah. Even the basketball games yesterday, I'm in a fantasy basketball league, and I've got LeBron James and SGA, and like the whole keeping track, the whole first half, they didn't score any points, and LeBron got blown out last night and at home against
Charlotte. Gave
Charlotte.
you guys for free at the start of the week why they were going to lose to Charlotte.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that coming. Wow.
Look, 15 and 26.
SGA's been good for me all year, but he only scored 20 last night. It was for some reason he didn't score. Sometimes they take a break. I don't know.
Yeah, you got to stop
saying anything, but with all the point shaving going on, I don't know.
It's point shaving every night. Every game is rigged. Every last game's rigged. That's the lesson over here. Every single game is rigged and scripted. Every single game.
Yeah. Oh, anyway, I enjoy your content, and I'm learning more. This is I'm a first time on your set, so.
Hold on, just so you make sure you understand what they did with the Hornets last night. Again, you can go watch the video. I played the clip at the beginning. I gave it out for free to everybody at the beginning of the week why the Hornets win this game. Kobe equals 15. Bryant equals 26. 15 and 26 as they beat the Lakers. Kobe drafted by the Hornets, sent to the Lakers for Vlade Divac. Kobe's full name the big way. Kobe being Bryant, 135. The small way, 117. Look at that score, 135, 117 for the Kobe tribute.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's how scripted the NBA is. Scripts.
All
right, fan. Good luck this week versus the Seahawks.
Thank you, sir.
Right, take care, man.
Keep it up.
Him and my dad would be good friends. My dad is a 49er fan, too. Big Dog Sports. You got to unmute. Oh, he's out of here, too. Golden Age Deception.
Hey, I guess the topic's basketball, correct?
It's all over the place.
All right, sweet, man. Yeah. If you pull up my YouTube channel, man, I had recently done my previous video over the discussion of the first ever Greg Popovich stayed at second place here in San Antonio and the correlations that it has, leading up to a potential catastrophic event and also the NBA Finals. So basically, Greg Popovich will be turning 77 years old, 1/28. And Coach Pop and Gematria, first of all, equates to 128. I can go over my presentation briefly real quick, but I think it'll be real fitting, going forward, with everything that's leading to the year of the horse. So Greg Popovich, he coached 29 seasons, therefore he retired at age 76, being in his 77th year of life. So 29 and 77, that number should, stick out to a lot of people because that is the death toll of 9/11, 29-77. And he had, of course, won his first championship against the New York Knicks, the Twin Towers, taking down New York prior to 9/11 occurring. Now, what does Popovich even mean? Now, the root of Pop means priest, and the suffix of Ovich means son of. Therefore, Popovich literally translates to son of the priest. So when he retired, he was on 5/2 seconds. All right, that's the 122nd day of the year. San Antonio won 22, like San Francisco and Titanic. Well, we're on a 52-week calendar named after Pope Gregory. Pope equals 52. Well, also that's significant because May 2nd is the day of the release of the King James Bible. King James' son, obviously, that we covered this plenty of times. His son, King Charles, with Greg Popovich's middle name is Charles. And right next to the Frost Bank Center here in San Antonio is the Freeman Coliseum. Just to go on more of the whole Freeman and Charles theme. Basically, the Charles Coliseum. Also, what had occurred on 5/2 was the AI image of Donald Trump portraying as the Pope, alluding to the first American Pope out of Chicago. Donald J. Trump equals 888, as does Greg Popovich equals 888 in the English Sumerian. When you add up 52 plus 25, like how Pope equates to those two numbers, it is 77, just like how the first ever Greg Popovich day is on his 77th birthday, 1/28. The first American Pope out of Chicago, Greg Popovich. He's from East Chicago, Indiana, located in this specific area called the Region. I'm very familiar with this area because I have a lot of family out there. Well, not too far from Chicago, Illinois, home of the first American Pope. Well, it's not too far from Gary, Indiana, which is home of the king of pop, Michael Jackson. Now, just to emphasize more on the Pope action with Greg Popovich and the correlations, he's even mentoring guys like Mark Pope out there for Kentucky University, like coaches the Wildcats. So extremely prominent position for someone, for him to be mentoring, someone at that university. Prior to that was John Calipari, there for years. But he refers to the rule as the pop rule, and the concept is the players should think about their next move before the ball even hits their hands on a pass. The goal is to be moving the ball fast, not slowing down and letting your mind live with indecision. That his players have a plan in place. This is an asset to the style of offense. Now, when they declared the first ever Greg Popovich Day, it was on October 15th, 2025, which is also the anniversary of the implementation of the Gregorian calendar. Gregorian, Greg, sound very alike. You can also write that date like 10/15, which is actually 115, where Greg Charles Popovich equates to 115. Now, January 28th, why does it matter? Well, on March 26, 2024, the day after my birthday, at 1:28, as you documented, Zach, the bridge had collapsed in Baltimore. Bridge collapse equals 1:28. Well, as does Greg Charles Popovich in the reverse ordinal. He equates to 3:26. So on 3:26 at 1:28 a.m., the United States and Baltimore experiences a bridge collapse. Spurs versus Warriors that occurred last year on 3/9/24. The Instagram account had posted the AI generated image of a boot going into the Golden Gate Bridge. Well, Pontifex Maximus obviously means the greatest bridge builder, and we had lost the 88-year-old Pope Francis. And Greg Popovich does have history with, the Golden State Warriors, him being an assistant coach prior to taking on the head coach position in San Antonio. Now, more 128 connections. Now it's all about the successor of Greg Popovich. And who is it? It's Mitch Johnson out of the Seattle area, Pacific Northwest. His dad was a Seattle Supersonic. Well, so man. Well, Mitch Johnson in the Jewish cipher equates to 1028. Now, we refer back to 9/11. The tower got hit at 8:46 a.m. in 102 minutes. At 10:28, it had collapsed. 10:28 resembles to 1:28. So there's your, more 9/11 connections with successor Coach Mitch Johnson. And then Irving Morrow was the architect behind the Golden Gate Bridge. He had passed away at age 68, October 28th, 1952. Now, 1028 resembles another 128, 1028. Literally the architect behind this bridge. And Coach Pop in his 77th birthday, and how it ties in with the NBA Finals. Now, the Spurs could potentially, be in the NBA Finals going into the year of the Red Fire Horse, just like how they won their previous championship in the year of the Horse, as did Greg Popovich won Coach of the Year, and R.C. Buford won Executive of the Year for San Antonio, Texas equals 214, and that was 2014. I have two other whole videos on the 77214 code. They're my first videos I have done presentation-wise, kind of going over. So if y'all want to go back and watch those, you can get a better understanding of this whole presentation. Well, also, June 4th, not only is it the 155th day of the year, it's a day leaving 210 days left in the year. And San Antonio is referred to as the 210 due to its area code. Now, Greg Popovich in the Tree of Life, as I call this, he's known for, literally bridging all these assistant coaches and players that he had under him off into better positions to go off and eventually, coaching their own team. And one player that stood out to me the most was Steve Kerr, the head coach out in San Francisco. Before he had retired, he won his 2 previous championships with the San Antonio Spurs in 2003 and 1999. 2 jersey numbers that he wore, his previous ones were 25 and 4. Well, the 254th day of the year is 9/11. And we could very well be experiencing our next 9/11 out in San Francisco. I think Super Bowl is being held in San Francisco, Santa Clara area, the Bay. Francis Scott Key. Recently, we had his 183rd death anniversary, which occurred January 11th, 1843. Well, 18/3. Well, 183 resembles 18/3, like March 18th. Well, March 18th is the 77th day of the year. And 9/11 is also the day, leaving 111 days left in the year, like he had passed away 1/1/1843. Also, Pop was born in 49. The construction of the Freeman Coliseum, where the Spurs played, originally, when it came to San Antonio, it was finished in 49 on 10/19, kind of like 119. Tim Duncan is even 49 years old, which is the 7 square. And yeah, man, that's just about it. My presentation briefly done. But one thing also to remember was it was 6 days later when we had the new Pope from when Popovich retired, like how the Spurs are trying to win their 6th championship. We also had 6 deaths that had occurred on the Francis Scott Key bridge collapse. 6 is a big number right now. If you had seen in the news media, Wembanyama and Keldon Johnson had both shaved their head yesterday prior to the Milwaukee Bucks game. Well, they both were. Well, one of them was number 1, the other one was number 3, which resembles 13, which is the 6th prime. The Spurs are trying to win their 6th championship, 26.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, so that's about it, man. Based off the things I'm seeing going on here around in my city, and you could definitely feel the tensions, rising for sure, because they had just approved, Project Marvel, which is going to be this whole new infrastructure plan going on that will like change the whole entire land out of San Antonio. With that being a new arena and all these, event live venues and whatnot. But Project Marvel equates to 193, which is the 44th prime. And I would say, George Gervin should probably watch out too, because, he's up there in age. And, Drake is dropping a new Iceman album as well. So, news,
Yeah,
sports, politics, all scripted.
George Gervin and Mike Ditka. Somebody better get
Oh,
security.
yeah, GG 77, it's popping 77. It's Greg with 2 Gs, 77 trend. Wembanyama had his career high against the 77-30 best team, the Wizards. Dropped 50 points on the Capitol, 50 states. Yeah, that's my YouTube channel right there. And I'll be going live and getting more into depth too once I gather some more information. That's kind of just a brief breakdown.
All right. I don't know about how brief it was, but appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man, for sure. Appreciate you.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
All right, take care. All right. All right. Drop the link one more time. We had more people in the back, but they dropped out during the lengthy decode there. If you guys want to hop back on, the line is open. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap this thing up. Last chance to get on the stream. So drop the link 2 times. Make sure you guys see it. If you got here late, be sure to rewind to the beginning of the stream. Usually my streams, what needs to be said is said at the very beginning. I don't really waste time. But then when I open up the line, things can go all over the place. So if you missed what the topic's about, it's because you missed the beginning of the stream. Feel free to drag that circle down on the red line to the beginning. We got Draco or Daco. Actually, I can't read Daco. What's up, Daco?
What up?
Yeah, what's up?
Man, bro. I just got into the stream or whatever. But I just seen y'all was talking about what y'all was talking about still. But honestly, I just came on here, man, because, you know, I ain't talked to you since the Alabama got their ass whooped, man.
Yeah, they sure did.
Man, that one hurt.
Are you an Alabama fan?
I mean, no, ever since I found you, I'm not really a fan of. I used to be a huge sports fan, but ever since I found out about this knowledge, I'm not a fan of it anymore or whatever. I still have the passion to play, you know, football and basketball and stuff. I'm just not a fan of it anymore. But I haven't talked to you since that ass whooping, so I was just like, I had to call in, even though I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? I still had to call in, and damn.
Yeah, Indiana, again, number 15, got them to 15-0, and 15 land Atlanta. Again, you guys, forwards and backwards. That Oregon game, they became 15-0 in Atlanta, did Indiana, and the Oregon coach stayed on 48 wins. And don't forget, Atlanta's also 120, the 15th triangular number. That's why we call Atlanta Super 15 Town. But yeah, they baited with that headline about Alabama in 131 years. Again, they know that people know the code, so they're throwing bait out there.
Yeah, and I bid it too. I bid it hard. But you know, one thing I want to give you credit on. You know, last year you called out that Notre Dame. You know, nobody's seen Notre Dame making it to the championship, and you called that one out pretty early. So that was nice. I was hoping you could give out something good like that this year, but this year was just a little rough, man. It was hard. It was hard to get this one because nobody even seen Miami going like that. I think one guy called in about Miami.
That my connection dropped, so I'm not sure that anything was just heard. I did, you know, what this college football season, they didn't give us whoppers like they did at the beginning of last year that just told us the whole script. That's why we were 1,000,000% on point last year. Something I talked about last year is, and I forgot to bring it into this year, that Miami, you guys, it's all synced up with The Rock. The Rock, the wrestler, former Miami Hurricane. He's 53 years old, big football number. They got Miami in the championship while The Rock's 53. And it was exactly 36 weeks from his birthday that they made the championship game to play in their hometown. So, yeah, I forgot what I was talking about last year, because last year I was pointing out how The Rock was 52 and born on 5-2, and to look out for the Hurricanes coming synced up with The Rock, which they did. They rocked the nation with 2 Hurricanes perfectly coordinated with The Rock, which I connected. And we said why look for Miami last season to start 5-0 as they go to The Rock's hometown, San Francisco. Sure enough, they did. And I say we got to watch out for it next year when he's 53, because Hurricanes, the plural, is, you know, the name of the team. And I let that slip through the cracks. Again, I've had a lot going on with the little one, but I forgot what I talked about a year earlier with Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So are you still there, Daco?
Yeah, no, yeah. I actually do remember you saying something about Miami. Now that you brought them points up, I actually do remember you saying something about Miami. But that, I'm not gonna lie, that call last year that you did with Notre Dame, and that one was nice, man, because nobody seen Notre Dame making it all the way there.
It was too obvious, man. They started the college football season in Ireland. Like, come on, man. They've never done this before.
And then you know what? Now that we think about it, you know, now that I just thought about it, you know, last year they got Notre Dame in there, and then this year it was a big old argument about, oh, is it going to be Notre Dame or Miami? Notre Dame or Miami? And then Miami got in, and Notre Dame got out, and then Miami make it there all the way there this year. That, you know, that is kind of funny, you know.
Yeah, I think Miami's first win of the year was over Notre Dame, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Probably the clue. They beat the defending almost champion.
Yeah. But I really ain't want nothing, man. I got into this stream later. Whatever. I'm gonna sit back and rewind it, watch it all of it, whatever. Because I had put them in a parlay. I didn't really know too much of nothing about last night. I just put Charlotte in a parlay last night. I mean, I lost a parlay, but I seen Charlotte won.
Yeah,
but
by the way, for all the idiots in the chat who say things like, if you know this, how come you can't call every game? Because, again, they're good at scripting things. Look at the 2 coaches in the college championship this year. One can get his 27th win with the team if he wins, or if the other wins, he gets his 36th win with the team. When people sit on the outside and don't take the time, again, I charge jack shit for this knowledge, not to mention I give you guys free gems every day, but when you sit on the outside like some fucking loser, going, oh yeah, you should be 100% then. No, we shouldn't, fucking retard, because you don't know what you're talking about. This is how they script things often, and that's why I don't advise playing every single game. Not every, yesterday, Detroit I couldn't find a single reason for the Suns to win yesterday. Detroit did beat the Suns. Again, you look at my notes, there's 8 reasons for Detroit to win, 0 for the Suns. But sometimes you run into this situation. It's like, okay, are they going to go with 27? Usually the cipher on the left does beat the cipher on the right, but not every single time. Not every single time. So,
Yeah. You know, I first found out about you back when I first found out about you when you did a video about King Von and about the ritual with LeBron and everything like that. And then I just started following you.
March of that year, free video. Jonathan and I were doing a stream together. We said this new King Von album, LeBron James, he's going to die for LeBron's ring championship coming later this year. LeBron James album perfectly synced with King Von's death. And we called that out in March, 8 months before he died in November. And for people who don't know, again, just one more time, the repetition of these same old numbers. Same old numbers. Look at this. The LeBron James album where he's wearing 64 on the cover, a deadly number which connects to his birth name, and also that he lives on 64th Street, and supposedly he's a killer. But look at his birthday, 8-9. Like how we've told you a million times out, King James in 89, from his birthday to his death was 89 days, when King James equals 89 and 55, and he died 55 days from LeBron's birthday. But look how LeBron James and King James overlap. 35, 154, 55, and also the 116. He died on November 6th, 116. He died exactly 35 weeks after the album came out, like LeBron James and King James. Again, 55 days before LeBron's birthday. Again, we called this in March of that year. LeBron would win and I called LeBron to win that finals that year, the day he signed with the Lakers. So, that prediction was way out. But when this album came out, we said he's going to die for LeBron's championship. Just read the numbers on this. These are deadly numbers right here.
Hey, how do I find that post? Do I go to I go to the Truth to Find? How do I find that post?
From March of that year?
Yeah, that is that post that you're talking about.
Again, my channel's been deleted 20-some times. The whole channel was wiped out. So,
well, I know, because I tried to find that video that you did, that first video I found out about you, about the King Von killing. I tried to find that video, but it's not, like you said, your channel's been deleted so many times.
Yeah, that video's gone too. That's like 5 channels ago.
Yeah, but no, how do I find that post that you're showing right here on the screen? How do I find that?
Oh, on my website.
Okay, all right. Yeah, because I'm on the Patreon one. Okay.
Yeah, same place the sports notes go to every day. If you just go to the search and type in King Von, it'll come up.
Okay, all right, yeah, I'll do that. But yeah, man, I just want to give you your flowers for that stuff, man. Like, I know there's a lot of haters and stuff out here. You know, it's a guy out here named Simply One Truth or something like that. A lot of these people learn this knowledge off of you, and after I found out this knowledge about you, I started seeing even more people post about certain videos on like Facebook and stuff like that, and TikTok reels and stuff like that. And it's just like, I think a lot of this stuff has been coming out from you, to be honest. You put out a lot of great information, a lot of great knowledge and stuff,
Everybody learned from me. That's just the bottom line. Nobody was doing this before I came around. So
yeah, that's all. I'm not here to, blow smoke up your ass and nothing like that, man. Like, it's this for real, it's real shit. I got that book that you said about Manly P. Hall, so I try to get up into it and read it every now and then and stuff like that. I also got your book, Number Games to Coronavirus, or Number Games 9/11 to Coronavirus. I got that book too. That's a really good book too. So
thank you.
Yeah, man. You got a lot of great information and stuff out, man. I just want to call because I haven't talked to you about the Alabama loss since I've been bragging about Alabama, and they get their butts whooped. I'm just like, man. So I just figured I'd call again. Just I'm not just to show. I'm not no troll or nothing like that. I missed one.
I would say, you guys, don't ever bet too much on a game because it'll take you out of the game. Since Alabama lost, we've been crushing and hitting all kinds of big upsets. The other day we had Kings major upset on the day the Jazz major upset with Christian Kirk for first touchdown. Again, you just put $1 on those 3 things, all of a sudden you're $200 and some richer. So that's why, you don't need to bet a lot to make a lot. Just stay consistent with the knowledge, take advantage of the days where they're throwing gems out there, and just keep patting your pockets. But a lot of people will bet too much on a game, and then it takes them out of the game, and you don't want to do that. So
Yeah, that's. I mean, I ain't out the game, but it definitely took a blow to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's all good though. But man, I just want to call and give you flowers, man, and just talk about fucking Alabama losing. And other than that, man, keep doing your thing, bro. I'm proud of you. I'll keep locking in with you
All
and
right.
keep on getting in with you. All
All
right,
right.
brother. Take care.
Take care.
Yep.
All right. We got Del Rashid. What's up, Del Rashid? Del Rashid, hello.
What's up? Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Oh, okay, there we go. What's up, Zach? Long time listener here. Not a good talker, so mind me on that. But I've been wanting to call you and talk to you about this upcoming finals.
Okay.
Uh, I've been watching you since 2016 when my twin brother had told me that LeBron was gonna come back on Golden State or whatever, and he did. You know what I'm saying? It was all on all your knowledge and shit though. But I wanted to call you about this one because I don't know if you know about Doc Rivers and when he joined the team. I don't even know. I haven't been watching you guys' picks on top narratives for this season or whatever. But one of the teams I've been looking at heavily is the Bucks because of Doc Rivers and the history and what he done in the past or whatever. And so I know you know that 61 is the 18 prime number, and I don't know if you know about him in at Marquette in college, beating the number 5 seed Notre Dame, hitting a buzzer beater in 1981. So basically, sorry, I'm the one doing a lot of talking. I hear you talk all the time, Zach. For the last 10 years, like you do all the talking. So I want to talk about just I don't know how much time you got. I know I'm late to the stream. All that I talk. Okay, so listen. So do you know that? Did you know that Doc Rivers joined the Bucks on the death anniversary of Kobe Bryant?
I
Did
didn't
you?
realize that. Nope.
Okay, okay. Um, so ever since that happened, I've been watching closely, real close, with the trade, what I'm saying, so with the trades that have been happening, like Kyle Kuzma going to the Bucks and picking the jersey number 18. Um, so in these sports, we're seeing a lot of 18 numbers. Growing up, I didn't really see as many 18s and 11s and 13s as I do now, and this is like all over the place. Like as you see, the Lakers just lost by 18 points last night with the Charlotte game or whatever. But so with the number 18, like I said, it's a 61st prime number, and this is the year that the Lakers can get their 18th championship. So you're gonna see a lot of 61s, and Doc Rivers being born in 1961. Um, Doc Rivers being born in 19. My bad, man. I'm a little nervous, man. I never thought I'd call in, man. So, I'm hella nervous. I've been listening to you for this long, and finally called in to talk to you, man. You the greatest nigga on. I mean, well, not nigga, damn. You the greatest white boy on YouTube, man. I tell you that. But so this championship is all about the number 11, the master number. So like I said, I was watching, the Lakers and the Bucks switch and swap players and stuff like that. Like Darvin Ham, Darvin Ham used to be the coach of the Lakers. Did you know he was with the Bucks now?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So, and along with a guy named Torian Prince, and that matters because Torian Prince and Darvin Ham won the bubble with the Lakers, the first ever bubble championship. And then they both left and went to the Bucks, and then the Bucks won the second bubble championship, the in season tournament or whatever. And so
Okay.
they call Darvin Ham they call him Mr. NBA Cup because all throughout the NBA in season tournament whatever just ended in December, but for the first part of it he was undefeated, so they was calling him Mr. NBA Cup, and I'm like, damn, I didn't even know Darvin Ham was with the Bucks. So all these players that line up with Lakers like Torian Prince and Darvin Ham, them was ex-Lakers. So my bad, Zach. How much time you got? I don't know if you got like 2 minutes or 20 minutes. So because I got so much, I got screenshots, all type of shit. How much you got? You got 5 minutes for me?
Yeah, 5 minutes is good.
Okay. That way I can calm down a little bit because I didn't, I know I'm at the end of the stream, so I kind of wanted to rush it out. But I want you to understand what I mean by the 18s and all that type of stuff. Like, so okay, um, and let's see, what year was this? Okay, so let me just give you a little history. I'm not a betting man. I tried to bet a couple times on, recent sports and whatever, lost, whatever. But fuck, my bad, Zach, man.
It'll come back to you. You're
Yeah,
talking about this
yeah,
idea with Doc Rivers. It must be somehow Kareem who went from the Bucks to the Lakers, and then the Kobe thing. So
yeah. Well, the next time the Lakers go to the championship, it'll be their 33rd championship, and they're going to try to get their 18th championship. But I was speaking about Doc Rivers and how they. Okay, so Kyle Kuzma. Okay, like the number 11.
okay,
Um, this is why DeAndre Ayton went to the Lakers. This is why Luca went to the Lakers. But it's because of the 11. So the reason why Luca is with the Lakers is because he lost that championship where the Celtics got their 18th championship with LeBron's old wingman, number 11, Kyrie Irving. So so they lose that championship to give Celtics their 18th championship, and then he's gonna win with the Lakers and give them their 18th championship and become 1-1. Well, DeAndre Ayton, he's gonna become 1-1 in finals because he lost to the Bucks in 2021. So if he loses to the Bucks in 21 and win this one here, he'll be 1-1 against the Bucks. Who else? Cal Kuzma. Cal Kuzma went to the Bucks. So first he went to Washington and he picked the number 33. I'm like, damn, why did he go to Washington and pick 33? So I always told myself I'm gonna watch and see where he go after that. Well, because I always ask myself that because LeBron is Mr. 33. How you leave LeBron and then pick number 33? So I always watched him after that. So then he leaves there and go signs with the Bucks. And I said, damn, 18. He picked number 18. Just like Kobe Buffett. I've been saying his name for the last couple of days ever since January 13th. I've been saying Kobe Buffett. I've been saying his name like crazy, but he ended up picking the number 18. So all these are signs that they gonna get their 18th championship because all these. Okay, it's like Christmas Day. Remember, Lakers lost on Christmas Day.
yeah, correct.
LeBron and everybody was mad. LeBron scored 18 points and it was his 263rd points of the season, the 56 prime number, like him being 5-6 in finals.
Okay.
So like Bucks equal 56, what I'm saying? So all these players, like besides LeBron gonna be 5-6 in finals, Luka gonna be 1-1 in finals, DeAndre Ayton gonna be 1-1 in finals, Marcus Smart, he was supposed to get that Celtics 18 championship, but they traded him the season before to the Grizzlies. And so he missed that one, but he's going to get this 18 championship. Like 18 plus 18 is 36, like he would in the jersey number 36. So, yeah. So I was watching all these players. Okay, so I'm 30 seconds. That's all I need. 30 seconds. The reason I say I'm so confident about this championship is because 3 years ago I was making this bet because I always knew that it would be against the Bucks. I don't know how I knew, but I was like, it's gonna be against the Bucks. I don't know if it's the signs they was giving me. It was like it's gonna be against the Bucks. So 23 I bet Bucks and Lakers. I lost. 24 I bet Bucks and Lakers, and then I lost. And I'm like, damn. But it was a learning process. I'm not really a betting man. It was a learning process. But the in the learning process, I literally watched the chessboard be set up, if you will. Darvin Ham going, all the players that I named, lining up for 18 championship. You know what I'm saying? So we'll talk about it. I just, we'll talk about it. I'll keep up in the chats and stuff. I usually don't talk a lot. I talk fast. I stutter a lot. I'm not a
Well,
speaker
here,
by any
in
means.
case you're not exactly right, think about other teams that Doc Rivers coached. This season did begin on 76 date numerology on Netanyahu's 76th birthday. He went to high school in Philadelphia. And
Yeah, that's
this
where he left.
80th NBA season and what was the 1980 NBA Finals. So maybe some mixes there. I mean, last year we used the 79 NBA Finals champion to call the 79th season correctly out of the gate. So
Right. Okay. So, but JJ Redick was the other piece. Did you know JJ Redick played for the Bucks?
okay.
JJ Redick. This shocked me too. Matter of fact, I got a good one for you. Another reason Doc Rivers. See, I forgot a lot of stuff because I talk fast. Not that. But listen, did you know that Doc Rivers? Oh yeah, in Preserve Forum where the Bucks is playing, there's a Doc Rivers jersey hanging in the rafters. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
It's the number 31, like the 31 is the 11th prime number, and this whole thing is about 11. This how I know it's going to be against Doc Rivers, and because when he was at Marquette with the number 31, he beat, look, pay attention, he beat number 5 Notre Dame, like number 5, like LeBron getting his 5th ring. So it's a lot of 5s too. 11 is the 5th prime. That's why, okay, like I mentioned, JJ Redick, he played for the Bucks for less than a season because, right after that season that he played with him, he got traded mid-season, whatever. Doc Rivers, I got the interview and everything. Doc Rivers pulled JJ Redick out of Milwaukee to play with the Clippers. So he had a short stint with the Bucks, and guess what jersey number he had? He had number 5, like the 5th ring, like him being 41, LeBron being 41, like 4 plus 1 is 5 in his 23rd season, 2 plus 3 is 5. Getting, with LeBron getting his 5th ring at 41 years old. And I got a hunch that Chris Paul's gonna be in this too. Because it's other things, but I got a hunch that Chris Paul's in it. But we'll talk about it another time. I know you're a busy man. I know you decode all damn day, every day. But you're the GOAT though, man. I watch you every day for the last 10 years. For the last 10 years.
All right, appreciate it, man.
Yeah, have a good one, man.
All right, take care.
Yep.
All right, I'm almost done with what I'm working on behind the scenes. This whole stream, I've been getting the sports stuff done for our stream today. If anybody else wants to hop on, last call. We call the Bucks the 11 team. Bucks equals 11. They are the 11 seed right now in the East at the moment of his call. So it'd be quite a turnaround. But yeah, how old is Kareem right now? Again, Kareem's the guy who went from the Bucks to the Lakers. Let's double check how old Kareem is. 78. Yeah, it's an interesting number there. 78. Okay. We got Daco back. What's up, Daco?
Hey, I just want to say, should I play basketball? I played high school basketball with Kyle Kuzma. He went to he went to Bentley. He went to Davidson at first. Davidson's a Class A school. And then I think his sophomore or junior year, he transferred to a Class C school called Bentley. That's where I graduated from.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't know, his mom's a little different. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm just trying to see how they got connected in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think it's from his parents or something, or like, you know?
I think almost all the connections are through the parents.
That makes sense. Cause I mean, I got her on Facebook and stuff like that. I ain't gonna lie, she is a little odd to me in my opinion, but it's just kind of weird, honestly. I never thought I'd play basketball with a guy that makes it to the league. I mean, like I said, I was in a Class C school, so that's like it wasn't a big school. I think our graduating class was like under 100. You know what I'm saying? Like barely made it 100 people. So it was definitely a small school. We had another guy get made to the league called Monte Morris, but he went to Beecher. He was a really good basketball player, but I don't think he's doing anything in the league anymore. But yeah, I just wanted to call and say I'll play with Kyle Kuzma. I mean, he was a good scorer. That's about it, though. But other than that, that was about it. He knew how to score the damn ball. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate that. Thanks, Daco.
No problem.
Yeah, what's up? All right, we got Chris from Vegas. Oh, he's already out of here too. I don't know. A lot of people just come on and hop off right away. So anyway, I'm gonna leave it there for now, you guys. We'll be over on the Patreon if you want to join us. It is $5 Friday. If you're on the $5 tier, it's the one sports stream you get a week. For years, I just did everything for $5. I should have upped the price a long time ago. Really, is the way I look at it. But $5 Friday if you want to join us. We'll leave it there for now. Again, if you got here late, be sure to watch the beginning of this video. That's where the topic was. Then we opened up the phone lines. But yeah, what a script for Kobe. And again, I did give it to you guys for free the other day. Kobe 15, Bryant 26. 15 and 26 on the 15th versus the team that Kobe got sent to after he got traded by or drafted by the Hornets. Kobe beating Bryant 135 and 117. His jerseys went up 117 days after his birthday, number 24 and number 8. Hornets get the 8th road win. Lakers stay on 24. What a script. All right, we'll leave it there for now. Till next time.